Oh, jeez. One down.
If you bring your toes, you'd have saved that for
Not close enough, I'm afraid, mate.
Jack, personally for you, is that a performance to savour?
Yeah, no, it is. Sometimes you wish you weren't quite as busy, and there was reasons for that today that we need to look at. But for me personally, you want to be making those saves. You want to help out when you can. I feel like I've done that over long periods of my time at this club so far. But as my own biggest critic, there's always times I wish I could have done better too. So for me, you can't look at that. You just got to move on. So really pleased with my performance, and I'm glad we managed to get the goals that made it worthwhile.
How do you reflect on this season personally? Because you look at last year when everything was so good for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you've just about there that perhaps this season that hasn't quite hit the same heights.
Yeah. I mean, there's not been many occasions it hasn't. I will back myself on that. I still look back to games early on in the season, 1-0s. There's games where I've had to still make decisive actions and still had to do things that have helped the team, but that's my job. It's easy to, after last season or after performances that I expect of myself, for people to question things if you don't make a save or a decision or something that you should have done, and that's normal. That's part of being a goalkeeper. It's part of being at this football club. You will be held to high standards, but none are higher than those that I've set myself. So I wouldn't say there's been soul searching or anything like that. You know, when things get tough, I just work harder. I do more. It's just the way that I respond. I want to do more. I want to train more. I want to work more in the gym, whatever it may be, whatever I need to look at more. So that's what I've done. So for me, it was no surprise. I feel in a great place. I feel mentally good, physically good. So I always feel like these performances are there or thereabouts, you know, and when called upon, sometimes it doesn't go to plan, but the intensity and the ideas and the belief in myself is still there. That's never changed.
It's obviously been a difficult week for the team, the club in general. Obviously you weren't playing last week, but how do you, sitting there on the bench last Sunday, how do you process everything that's gone on since? It's
aimed at everyone. Everyone gets it, you know, and whether I played or not, you all feel it. You're all part of it. There's still nowhere that you can go where you're not going to receive grief, and as a squad, that's what happens, and rightly so after last weekend. There's no hiding from that. We can't use excuses like the squad needs to learn and we're young and this, that, and the other. There's a mentality and there's a standard that has been set at this club, that this group, we need to hit those heights of, and we need to maintain. We've done it at times. We need to do it all the time. And then results like last weekend, Dundee at home after the November international, the games around Christmas, they don't happen, and that's on all of us. So you want to say learn, but there's no time to learn. It's got to happen now. Today's performance was one that needed to be a result. First and foremost, it was. Performance-wise, can improve, but I think the fight that the boys showed, the boys dug in, the effort was there. Quality not at times, but that's what we need. We need that to continue.
As one of the senior players in the squad, what was your role last week, just in trying to galvanise people and pick people up and keep the focus maybe on what's coming next rather than the noise that was surrounding the club and surrounding the manager?
Same as every week. You know, you need to enjoy things when they're good. You need to feel it when it's not. You need to understand what that is. Boys need to feel it. So there's a few harsh words here and there, and people need to hear things. And that's important. You need to have that in a group. So it's a difficult week. You know, there's no day that you don't go by throughout the week just gone where you're not reminded of the week before. Whether it be friends, family, fans you meet out in public, you know, around the training ground, it doesn't get away from you. So the biggest thing for the group is trying to pick people up, trying to remind people of the good things that people have been doing, the good things that they're capable of doing. But that's not easy after a week in a game like that. So the messages in the recent days have been about Hearts, have been about the fact that they might have smelled blood and thought, you know, we can do one here, and that can't be the case. So that was the messages before the game today, that there's no way that they can feel because of last week that they can turn us over, and we came here and got the result.
What do these next couple of weeks, months look like? Obviously nothing to play for in terms of domestic silverware. What are the standards you have to hit? What are the ambitions and the goals you have to set?
There's everything, always everything to play for. no friendlies here. There's no free hits. There's no games that you can toss aside as being it doesn't matter. There isn't that. Because no matter the game, if you don't get the right result, the reaction's the same. That's what this group is going to have to expect, and as a result of that, the focus is to win every game. You know, it's what the standard is, and it's what the fans need now. It's what the club needs is some real positivity, some performances that they can see progress in. But ultimately, they need to see results, and that's what we need to focus on, game at a time between now and the end of the season.
Last one, please, guys.
Glasgow can be a really intense environment for anyone who plays for
Yep.
Rangers. Did you find it tough last week, just being out and about, just doing basics?
I wasn't out and about for a start. You know, you learn to pick and choose your moments. But if you don't enjoy that, and if you're not part of something meaningful, then you don't like football and you don't like playing for this club. Simple as that. It's part and parcel of it. I've been at clubs where the intensity and the demand is not quite the same to win every week, and I can tell you that this is much more fulfilling than that. You know, knowing that every game is a game that needs to be won, and it's the end of the world if you don't, and it's the top of it. Well, sometimes not even half if you do win, but that's the standard. And for me, if you don't enjoy this, you don't enjoy being part of this challenge, then I don't know what you'll enjoy. So it's an incredible place to play. It still is, and look, I'm focused and the group's focused on bringing consistent winning to this club, and that's what it deserves. Fans deserve it too.
Okay, guys, thanks very much.
Cool.
We've got
Thank you, guys.
to noon tomorrow, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.